forward to listen to more of your in-depth knowledge in the technical session. I would now invite Ms. Anuradha Singhai from IECCI to present our dignified guests with a token of appreciation in the shape of a memento. And a champion of information technology by choice. We seldom get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of such a great knowledgeable speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Dr. Ajai Garg. Dr. Ajai Garg is currently serving as Director in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Dr. Garg is handling a variety of responsibilities, including heading the International Corporation Division, a critical arm of MIT to promote international trade in corporation and e-commerce initiatives. He is the lead negotiator in a number of significant global forums on e-commerce, which include RCEP, G20 and WTO, to name a few. Dr. Garg is passionate about promoting innovation along with various schemes to support international patent protection by SMEs and technology startups, increasing IPR awareness and IPR portfolio of the country through public-funded R&D programs. A recent scheme initiative being supported for international patent protection in electronics and information technology, SIP-EIT, is one of the flagship programs of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology that is trying to boost international patent filing, especially among MSMEs and startups from India. A firm believer in the role of policymakers in catalyzing entrepreneurship, Dr. Garg is actively promoting technology incubation and development of entrepreneurs scheme, an industry-oriented scheme that actively nurtures incubation of technology startups and multiplier grants scheme, which encourages collaborative R&D between industry and academics R&D institutions. Some of his other significant achievements include framing of National IT Policy 2012. He was earlier actively engaged in program management of the National E-Governance Plan, including implementation of critical projects like National Open Data Framework and use of local language solutions in e-governance applications. At present, he is pursuing the National Policy on Software Products for incentivizing our IT-ITES sector to move up the value chain and to face the challenges of changing dynamics that the sector is facing. Commencing his career, he joined IIT Delhi as a visiting faculty in 1996 with specialization in VLSI and MEMS before joining Government of India in the year 2000. Dr. Garg has been a regular speaker at workshops, conferences, symposiums and forums in India and abroad dealing with IPR, entrepreneurship and innovation, e-governance challenges and new digital paradigms. So, we invite you to share about the mighty initiatives and intellectual property rights in ICT. Dr. Ajai Garg, please.
Good morning, friends. Let me first thank Anuradha ji for giving me an opportunity to visit Bhopal. I've lived around, now it's very soon I'll be having the golden jubilee of my life, and I have been unfortunate enough to not to visit Bhopal. So let me first thank you for giving me this first opportunity to visit Bhopal. You can close this up. It's always a challenge that talk in the inaugural session, then just after the inaugural session you are giving one more technical lecture. So how do you segregate your thoughts? And for a person like me who never makes a presentation, it becomes all the more difficult. So let me first try to segregate into two. First I'll talk about in this inaugural about where are we and why we talk about IPR today. And why will we be talking about IPR for the whole day. So, ever since Einstein came with the Schrödinger equation E is equal to mc square, technology has always been through a very predictable path. In 1966, Morse came up with the Morse law, where he talked about every 18 months the performance of the computer becoming, or the microprocessor doubling its capabilities. And he predicted it for 10 years, but it stayed with us till years back. And technology always led a predictable path. And there was disruptive changes that took place through technology and technological capabilities. And in that respect, the West took the lead because of their capabilities in having a very robust educational systems and a research ecosystem, a large amount of money to invest in R&D, and India always lagged that path. But if we see for the last few years why everyone is looking towards India, is that technology has come to a stage where the consumer or a problem statement that needs to be solved is driving technology in today's state. It's a demand driven rather than demand being driven by technology, which was happening for the last 75 years. And here, India comes to the forefront because हमारे पास कुछ है नहीं है, problems की भरमार है, and we cannot shy away from the fact that we are the largest warehouse of problems. And this is an opportunity rather than we being very apologetic about it in today's day. It's an economic opportunity. And so everyone is trying to look at India's specific solutions, and everyone is coming towards India to see India as an opportunity market for the future. And to solve local problems, innovation is a key driver rather than the research being the key driver. And as we champion ourselves in problems, we also champion ourselves in a concept called jugaad. A local, homegrown solutions for our problems. But the sad part was that we never saw an opportunity that these jugaads or these local innovations, how can we actually leverage benefits out of it? How can we create replicable models which actually have a spread across large segments of geography? They were localized, they were not able to spread, and if Raghuraj agrees to me, at least what I have seen in the government, one thing is there. We do not have to look for best practices outside India for any solution, for any problem or any policy that exists within the country. Only thing is, it caters to small pockets or small segments of the society. And we need to actually spread it across geographies. Power used to be a problem. Now, in the 21st century, thinking someone, because of the lack of power, living without amenities like a refrigerator or things like that, it's scary for we urban classes to think of such situations, but there is large segments of our society which lives with that. Someone from Gujarat, what I saw some 1-2 years back, made a pottery-based refrigerator and just costing 2,000 and works very efficiently without any use of power and all that. But have we been able to actually take in sitting in Madhya Pradesh or Delhi or Uttar Pradesh, people have not been able to take the advantage of it. What's the reason for this? The reason for this is that we living in a world where local solutions and local businesses keep emerging, do not have the capabilities or a courage to move out of their boundaries. For the simple reason that traditionally our businesses have been through a method called trade secret or technologies living within boundaries of families or a group of people. And to protect that, the geographical indications became the key driver. Yeah. Say for example, the Bastar art or something, if it has got huge economic values, why can't we like West create industries around it and take advantage of it? But we still think that we have to protect the local artisans for their livelihoods through geographical indications. I'm not saying it's wrong, and don't take me, and if the media is there, don't quote me wrongly. I'm just trying to say, why can't we have replicable models which will actually, because they have the basic IP of that art, they gain out of that art rather than making products out of that art. Walt Disney, just by selling those cartoons or figures, earns $2 billion a year from royalty of those cartoons, rather than he individually selling those tiffin boxes. So that was my limited point. So in that case, when such models need to emerge, intellectual property becomes important. Protection of intellectual property by civil methods become important. And we need to understand in this evolving world that how do we rightfully play an active role and at the same time mitigate all risks associated with businesses, especially the small, medium enterprises and the startups. And here, protection of intellectual property, whether through patents, whether through copyrights, whether through trademarks, geographical indications of designs, any method of intellectual property protection is a key driver, and we need to understand this subject, and we need to see where all the support can come for such things, because intellectual property cannot be a central fold for small businesses, and here certain amount of initial government support comes in, and we from the Government of India have been trying to do it in a small way through the National IPR policy, which promotes and creates awareness, which is looking at IPR as a holistic management subject. Through my department acting as an interface between the ICT industry or the ICT startups to move this sector up the value chain. We do not live with the services, but we move into the where the IP plays a critical role. Where we provide certain financial supports for our startups or ICT innovators to actually vote into international markets, do not limit themselves to small boundaries, and many other aspects that can that needs handholding, and Mahesh talked about it in his presentation. So these are some of the things that we need to do. We need to actually collaborate with international partners. But one thing I'll tell Anuradha ji is that we have now a symbiotic relationship with the West. And she has rightfully opened an Indo-European chamber because this symbiotic relationship now creates value. It's not that we only look towards the West for investment and technology, but with the growing startup culture that is happening in this country, I think we'll reverse the wheel, and my young minds will actually support me in that, in reversing the wheel, because we came out of the physical captive, we came out from being governed by them physically, but still economically we need to fully become an independent, self-dependent and a leading nation, and I think innovation is a key driver for that. Thank you once more. And
thank you very much, sir, for sharing about the mighty initiatives in IPR and ICT with us.